Okay, just file this under. I actually don't realize I'm doing the exact same thing I'm sitting there accusing you of right now. File it under that long title because Wajahat Ali of the Daily Beast, the rancid newspaper of which Chelsea Clinton sits on the board, I think she still does. Anyway, and if she doesn't, they still love her to death. And so Wajahat Ali, this dude right here, who indicates to me the smug look, the condescending, I know better than you, says right there, this is a guy who stands in heroic defense of the anointed elites who own 99% of the world and control most of the narrative most of the time. So, and of course, he loves globalism. He is paid to defend them and play interference for them. So that's why you're seeing all these articles come out in defense of, from liberal media, in defense of President Claudine Gay of Harvard, who just got fired. Okay, she got canned. They said she resigned, but she got canned. And you know why? Because they had Jewish donors that pulled out. One of them, they skipped out on $1 billion. They said, I'm just going to take my funding away, $1 billion, so see you later. So, of course, the establishment has to push out their little kind of, I wouldn't say pit bulls, just kind of poodles at this point, to come out and start pointing the finger back so that we'll get distracted, which some will. Some Americans are still that stupid. I'll be honest, I'm not giving them any more margin of error because we've been accused for years of a million and one things that we haven't even done, actually, literally, haven't done. And now we have to be nice or something like that. So, no, I'm not. And if you have, after COVID, if you haven't seen the light on what the New World Order is doing to you, then I'm sorry for you. Good luck. So progressives are doing everything they can to deflect from the real reason why former Harvard president Claudine Gay resigned. They're all excusing her plagiarism, either ignoring it or saying she was just sloppy, or even claiming that the plagiarism scandal was ginned up from nothing. Gay got caught and was exposed. That's the story. 50 counts of plagiarism. You got caught, honey. And let's not forget what really started this off is that simply you were asked in Congress. This is the downfall of Harvard right here. This is where wokeism starts to die, because the downfall was in Congress. She was asked, hey, you have harassment policies to protect your students, all of them. Don't matter where they come from or what their background is, religious, non-religious, atheist, libertarian, liberal, doesn't matter. And would you say that students saying to other students, hey, we should genocide the Jews, do you think that would fit under that policy? And she said, well, depends on the context. So that said everything. And so that's the real problem here. The plagiarism is the secondary thing, but the problem is too is that she's okay with statements like genocide the Jews. She doesn't condemn them. And hey, you can say what you want. You have freedom of speech, but as the president of Harvard, you have an obligation to condemn that type of speech regardless. So anyway, Daily Beast columnist Wajahat Ali is looking forward to right-wing academics being caught plagiarizing so he can watch conservative media ignore it, deflect, and laugh at the gullibility of the mainstream media. Yes, progressives are also angry with newspapers like the New York Times falling into Christopher Rufo's well-executed trap. So Christopher Rufo is a conservative, and he has been going after been doing deep dives on discovering all her acts of plagiarism, which she did. And so, of course, they're going after Christopher Rufo. So, I digress. And reporting on it when there are so many more important things to be writing about than internal politicking at Harvard. They call it internal politicking. I call this a severe problem, delusional takes, and absolute fraud and cheating. When you hold students to a harsher standard, that they can't plagiarize, or you're out, you're kicked out, you're gone, okay? Yet this woman right here has more than 50 allegations of plagiarism, of which I did a deep dive the other day, and we compared. some of the papers that she wrote to the people that she ripped it off from without any reference or bibliography or quotes or sources. So he says here in his tweet, when right-wing academics are going to be caught plagiarizing in the next few weeks, conservative media and the politicians will say, so what? They'll ignore it. Listen very closely. They'll ignore it, deflect, and laugh at the gullibility of the mainstream press, which they loathe. It's a good racket. He also follows up by saying Gorsuch, who was found to have copied the structure and language used by several authors and failed to cite source material in his book and an academic article according to documents. Oddly, right-wing actors haven't asked for his resignation, so strange. Well, if he did it, then get rid of the guy. I'm right, okay. Okay, if I am considered a right-wing actor, get rid of the guy then. I'm fine with that. But this is funny. Let's just look at this again. When right-wing academics are going to be caught plagiarizing in the next few weeks, conservative media and politicians will say, so what? They'll ignore it, deflect, and laugh at the gullibility of the mainstream press, which they loathe. It's a good racket. Well, Wajahat, sounds like you are actually doing the same thing right here. Noam Blum says, you're literally describing your own behavior right now, dude. They'll ignore it, as you do, as the liberal media does. Ignore it, deflect, and laugh at the gullibility of these people. Eric Pisty says, a good racket. Maybe, Wajahat, don't commit plagiarism your whole academic career. And this goes out to you, Claudine Gay, best wishes. Don't commit plagiarism your whole academic career, then lead a major university, then have university cover it up for you. That is the racket that should be discussed. Blue Check says you're projecting possible future responses to situations that haven't happened so that you can be outraged. They're planning the outrage. Do you see how they do this psychological operation? They're planning the outrage right now. This is a good racket you have going, Wajahat Ali. Tar Heel Joe says, sir, isn't this what you're doing right now? What right-wing academics? And I have to laugh at that too. Which ones? They've all been ousted, banished, isolated, demonized, and fired. They've all been ousted because academia is pretty much a left-wing auspice right now. That's all it is. It's just pretty much left-wing. You guys own the entire racket. Like that, you guys are in charge. And the only right-wing academics that I know of are like Peter Boghossian, a couple others who've had to leave. Carol Swain, they've had to leave because they've been pushed out because they had conservative views or libertarian views, or they simply just disagreed with the cabal that we know now as academia, Marxism. Okay, same thing. Because Marxism infiltrated academia first, according to the lessons of Yuri Bezmenov, watch his videos. As Yuri Bezmenov told us, Marxism infiltrates academia first, where the young are educated first, okay? And then you get the end product, which is this, the president of Harvard who plagiarizes and won't condemn statements like, well, it's okay to say statements like genocide the Jews. Well, it depends on the context, okay? So let the plagiarism witch hunt begin. You get those rascally right-wing academics, of which there are practically none left, who've inexplicably gotten anywhere near positions of power in major universities. Go get them. Yeah, this is killing me. I'm like, what right-wing academics? They're pretty much all gone now. And if there are any left, they're super, super duper quiet. They don't make a fuss because the majority of you nut jobs are Marxists. You're not academics. You're not actual critical thinkers. You're not looking for balanced perspectives. You're looking for a narrative that fits what you agree with. That's it. That has nothing to do with what universities were set up for. So, you can screw off. There are no right-wing academics, again, as I said. True, so many well-known hard-right professors are shaking in their boots right now. You are so simple. Exactly. Most of those right-wing academics, they're out. They're just on their own. They have a podcast here and there. They're just trying to get, they've got a presence on social media. They show up on Joe Rogan. That's the only places they show up now. Are there right-wing academics? I thought DEI got rid of all of them. That was the whole point of DEI. The point of DEI was not inclusivity, it was exclusivity. Make sure to demonize your opponent and then get rid of them. Find them. It will be hard enough for you to find a conservative professor, let alone dean or president. Glad you were able to find one potential example. Let's go down this rabbit hole and find out where most of the plagiarism is. Let's see who's left standing. Deal? If there's any plagiarism, it's going to mostly be done by the left in academia, because that's academia and the left are one and the same essentially at this point. There's like 2 teachers at some of these schools now who probably have even somewhat traditional liberal views, and those are considered conservative now. So you better look out, guys, because they're coming for you. I'm just letting you know. Well, we'll see Neil Gorsuch and Raiz Ali, the current president of the United States. Did someone say plagiarism? Oh, let's see what Biden says. Hell yeah. Let's see. Do you even know why Biden had to drop out of the presidential race in the 80s, and what college is a right-wing is there where there is a right-wing academic? Leftists think merit is unfair, which is true. The big war right now is get rid of meritocracy in colleges and corporations and elevate those who do not have the skills, who are not skilled in the field that they get, or the title that they get at a company, or the job that they get. Elevate them to those positions, okay? So frauds, elevate frauds, these shells that don't know how to do anything, and basically get rid of meritocracy, where you work on your own merit, and content of character does not at all matter. Immutable characteristics are the only requisite for that. And so that's your race, skin color, gender, transgender, doesn't matter. Those are the only things that matter. It is a complete fraud. And academia is a 100% complete fraud at this point in the United States. Leftists think merit is unfair to apply to Black people because they don't think we are capable of doing anything without the help of others. This is said by Adam B. Coleman, president of Ain't Blackistan, who is Black. They see being Black as an automatic handicap, and they pity our struggle to keep up. Yep. So anyway, there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of a thorough run through and lambasting of this dude, Wajahat, who cares, and Claudine Gay, who is still getting $900,000. That's her pay, actually. She's getting like a little bit above that, I think, is her actual pay. She's not president, but she's still a professor of African American Studies at Harvard. Have fun, you leftists. You're going to eat each other like the monsters you are. God bless. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye.